What is up, everyone? So today I'm doing a review of the Hoover 1300 Special Edition SE230 washing machine. So I'll start from the bottom and just gradually go up. You got the filter down here. This bit's very rusty. The rest of the machine seems to be fine, but there's only a little bit actually sticking out, so that's fine. But yeah, you can see a bit of rust on there. I gotta clean up this floor. It's full of washing powder. I spilled the other day. So yeah, filter down there, you just unscrew it with your hand. There's no actual tools you need. You just, oops, there you go. What is there? Okay, man. Oh no, maybe, yeah, you actually do need to have a screw. God, I need to clean this up. The screw stand. There we go. It's back on. So, you got the door here, the nice Hoover drum. This bit's a little bit odd. It's like way more rounded than all the other doors of this sort of era I've seen. You've got the drum. It's 5 kilos. Bearings are a little bit. So it's not the full 6 kilo. It is 5 kilos, and you can see it is a bit smaller than the 6 kilo ones if you were to compare them. The seal, it looks nicer because it's all flat, but it doesn't slope, and because it doesn't slope, some dirt can get stuck on here and sort of sits on the seal, so you only have to just wipe it after every wash, or just go like that. But yeah, these paddles very well put in. Also, what's this? I've always wondered what this is. Can someone explain? There's a lot of things that have this, and it never makes any sense. I don't know why. They have it. We've got the little thing here instead of the triangle, where the suds come down for, in case there's a suds lock or something. Yeah. Anyway, I'm now going to move on to the actual machine. Also, I was just going to say before I move on, the way the machine works and the way it doesn't slope and all the clothes go against the door in this way, it actually almost feels like it affects the wash action, how the door is so flat and stuff. Anyway, got the drawer. You've got the main wash, pre-wash, and the softener. Softener works on every cycle apart from Rapid 32. The main wash is on every cycle apart from obviously the spins because it doesn't take in any water. And the pre-wash only works on number 1. Which, speaking of number 1, number 1 is... well, it's a pre-wash at 90. Now, I haven't actually used it yet, but I imagine it's about 2.5 hours because you've got the 25-minute pre-wash plus the main wash, which will probably end up being about 2 hours as well. Pre-wash is 40 degrees, by the way. Number 2 is whites without pre-wash, just normal cottons at 60. That is 2 hours and 10 minutes on a full load because it does have automatic half load. And it will also only do 2 rinses if it has less than a half load in there. Or I think I think it might be 1/3 full or something if it's got a third or less. So it's less than half, and it'll only do 2 rinses. So yeah, number 3, I've gone past it, but number 3 is fast colors at 50. That takes about 1 hour and 50 minutes. Number 4 is non-fast colors or colors non-fast at 40, and that takes about 1 hour and 40 minutes with a full load. You got the rinses with intern spins at 800 RPM, softener rinse because there's obviously 3 rinses, but the final rinse has softener. If you put it on here, you can hear the thing changing in the drawer, and I'll show you this now. That's the thing. See, that changes over in there when it goes on to the different parts of the cycles. So that's how you know it's on the softener. It's you position it before the final spin, and that works on all the programs. You've then got final spin at 1300 RPM and the stop. Now, if you just put on an empty rinse program, if you set it to rinse right now, then it will fill up to just, assuming you put nothing in there, it fills up to about there. And then it will just it rinses 6.5 minutes. And then if it's a small load, it'll only do one more rinse. On to synthetics, you got number 5 is mixed fabrics at 60. Number 6 is colored synthetics at 50. Number 7 is acrylics at 40. And these cycles take 60 an hour and a half, 50 about an hour and 25, and acrylics is about an hour and 15. You got distribution after the wash, 3 rinses, and there's always 3 rinses on the synthetics cycles, no matter the load size, because it's for a half load anyway, and the in-turn spins are lower. You've got 400 RPM in-turn spins, the final rinse, and the rinse on this cycle are 4.5 minutes with a timed fill, no matter the load size, up to about there, assuming there was nothing to absorb it. So final spin at 800, equal to the cotton's 800 RPM spin. And, that was a nice click. Stop. Number 8 is delicates at 40, which is a hand wash cycle, but with an 800 RPM final spin and at 40 degrees. Wool at 40, it's just delicates, but it's more frequent tumbling. And then number 10 is wool at 30 for like very delicate fabrics that can't be washed at 40, and also need delicate wash. Rinses, softener, and then the rinse hold would be around here as well. If you press crease guard, and then a wool spin at 800 RPM, which basically is just it's the same length as a synthetic final spin, but it ramps up from 400 to 800 quickly, and it doesn't stay there for long, so it gets the water out without like spinning for too long. Rapid 32 or 32-minute wash, or in the manual it's called speed wash. I'll show you here. I have put some of the times, but yeah. Not only it also has its own rinse and spin program, and 2 bars underneath for some reason. So yeah, a speed wash cycle is also just rapid 32. It's 50 degrees, which is pretty cool actually. And if you put a bigger load in, then it will probably end up washing about 45 degrees. Because it takes longer to heat, the more water it adds, and obviously it's a bigger load. So it does a 400 spin after the wash. No spinning after the first rinse. The rinse is only 2.5 minutes, and then final spin of 800. It only does 2 rinses as well. So the 2 rinses and the final spin only take 10 minutes, and then so it just does a synthetic final spin because it's meant for mixed fabrics. So yeah, definitely my favorite cycle, Rapid 32, and it does a timed fill on the rinses up to higher than synthetics but lower than cottons. Although cottons isn't timed, cottons is only a timed fill rinse if you just put it on a rinse only. If you put like it on a wash, it will measure how much it uses on the wash and then repeat that for the rinse, because it does do low level rinses. So yeah, you got the options, crease guard, and they push in really nicely, all these buttons. Crease guard, it doesn't do anything on cottons, because I guess the assumption is, well, cottons are going to be creased anyway, and yeah. But on synthetics, it will add a cool down to the main wash, kind of like a shuttle rinse. Cancel interim spins. Fill up to the door, I think, on the rinses. Or something like that. To make up for the lack of interim spins. And do a really short final spin of basically about this fast. For about 10 seconds. It spins like that. Why won't it focus? There we go. So yeah, intensive keeps the heater on while it's washing and does more intensive tumbles. Super rinse adds a little bit more water to the main wash, I think. And for the rinses, it adds 2 more rinses, so 5 rinses instead of 3. I don't think it works on Rapid 32 though. Oh yeah, and also crease guard, as I should mention, it adds a rinse hold on the delicate programs. Does it say anything about... I'll check this after. I think maybe it says like on the options bit that it adds more water for the cottons programs if you press super rinse to dissolve the detergent or something. Yeah. So I'll get to what I think of this machine now. So the pros are... 1 is just a really nice machine. 2 is quite well built. 3 is quite rare, which just gives it a novelty factor. 4, it has good wash action and long rinses and very good interim spins. And a pretty effective short final spin because it goes up very, very slowly. Instead of going up in bursts. Like modern machines do. And I guess... Yeah, what other... The quick wash is very good. And yeah. Cons are that it doesn't have a quick wash button. Obviously, on some models it does instead of intensive. That's a shame. This one doesn't. I think some of them have a no spin option. I'm not sure, honestly. Don't think. Maybe they don't, yeah. But those would be like the SE230 or those sort of models. Then there was also a PE something for these machines, because these came out around the same time as the Hoover 6s, but they're also different because they're a bit more niche than the Hoover 6. No, they're not really. They're sort of their own thing. Whereas Hoover 6s are also their own thing. Yeah. So it takes about 1 minute to unlock the door, or 45 seconds. So it's not too bad, honestly. And, before I end the video, it has an anti-sudsing system. If it suds locks, it will immediately slow down. It will not get to 400 before slowing down like some of these machines do. And it will drain then for about a minute before going on to a rinse, and the rinses fill up to the door. One thing I have noticed about this machine is when you compare it to other models of these sort of machines, it uses far less water for what it needs to be. So instead of filling up to here on the wash, it fills up to more like there. And then, which is noticeable actually. And then obviously, like if it's doing an emergency rinse, instead of filling up to like here, it fills up to there. Oh, it's kind of dumb. Anyway, yeah, that is the review of this machine. I hope I didn't miss anything. Yeah, it's a nice machine. I'm not a big fan of how it doesn't use much water on the rinses. That's probably the biggest con, the biggest setback. Just how it doesn't use much water in general. And it doesn't have a quick wash button. And I would say having no spin speed dial and temperature dial would be a bad thing, but I kind of do like the simplicity of it. It's kind of a bad thing that there's no pre-wash cycle that isn't 90 degrees. Because a lot of the times you're pre-washing stuff because you don't want to boil it. It's already getting pre-washed anyway. So I think a 60 degree, if it was just like 90, 60 pre-wash, 60, 40, because you've already got 2 other 50 degree cycles anyway. I'm not too fussed about there not being enough 30 degree washes, because I mean, 40 degrees is cool enough for most stuff. And if you're really wanting to wash something at 30, it's probably going to be pretty delicate anyway. So that's the review of this machine. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and everything. I'll have reviews on other machines out. Sorry if I went on a little bit. But yeah. And oh yeah, these cycles around here, they all take about 45 minutes, around about that. So yeah, that's just a random fact I'd put in at the end. So yeah, see you in the next video. Goodbye.